Most parenting approaches and advice center on a tip, trick, or technique to fix the child. But I have a secret that I want to let you in on. In this video, I will share the secret and explain how it will completely transform your child-parent relationship. But before I get there, let me remind you of what we covered in the last two videos. First, I showed you why traditional parenting advice is not the best way to achieve happy kids. And I explained why play therapy works better than anything else I've seen so far. And how everything is emotional with your kids, and you have to change the way you respond to them. So in case you have not watched the first two videos yet, make sure you do that right now because we covered a lot of important things in those videos and I don't want you to miss out. I am really excited about this video because I'm going to share something with you that has completely changed the lives of hundreds of families, and you will not hear about this anywhere else. The single most important understanding you need is that everything flows out of the relationship that you have with your kids. The relationship has to be healthy for your family to be happy. So now you're probably wondering exactly what a healthy relationship looks like. A healthy relationship comes from building mutual trust. Your child must trust you, your authority, your love, and your faith in them. And the parent must trust the child to be capable of good, capable of obedience, growth, and change. And this is developed over time by patterns of believing in each other, no matter the circumstance. And respect is also required for the relationship to flourish. Many parents operate under the assumption that kids must respect them, but respect has to go both ways, otherwise it becomes an authoritarian relationship. Understanding is another hallmark of a healthy relationship. Parents have to work to meet their kids where they are, which is in the moment and emotionally driven. That's what we talked about earlier. Kids have to work to understand their parents, their expectations, and their boundaries. You can see there's work on both sides. This parallels effective communication, since these moments of understanding typically come from the healthy expression of needs, feelings, thoughts, wishes, or desires. Finally, and potentially the most important component of a healthy relationship between parents and their kids is acceptance. Parents have to be unconditionally loving and accepting of their kids. And this means failures, flaws, mistakes, disobedience, even resistance. But it also means their successes, their accomplishments, their effort, and their thriving. There is always a balanced approach to acceptance, as no matter what the circumstance is, acceptance is offered. First, let me share a story with you before I dive further into this secret. I worked with a mom who was constantly power struggling with her son. He was always very attention-seeking, especially around his peers, which then of course embarrassed her in front of her friends. So she began to question whether or not she should even take him to play groups. And she also felt that he was careless and reckless, usually in an attempt to show off. So this made her fearful that he would get hurt and that she couldn't trust him in those situations. So she began to micromanage every moment of his day. And then unfortunately, he was also very clingy to her at home and wouldn't do anything independently, which obviously caused problems in her marriage too, because her husband thought that she was coddling him too much. So after participating in the private parent coaching that I offer, she began to notice huge changes. They were subtle at first, but then more evident as time passed. But it started with a shift in perspective. She began to change the way she talked to him and the way she treated him. She changed the way she perceived his actions and behaviors. It became easier to accept him for who he is rather than what he did. And what happened after the shift in his mom's approach was fascinating. Not surprising, but it's encouraging. He began to behave in more self-enhancing ways. He became more confident. He was more regulated. He stayed in better control of his emotions. Now you might be wondering why. Well, he didn't have anything to prove or fight for anymore. He knew that he was unconditionally loved, accepted, and trusted because mom made the shift. Everything you want in your family, you name it, it doesn't matter what you want. If you want problematic behavior reduction, if you want a decrease in power struggles, if you want better communication, if you want an increased level of acceptance of your kids, it doesn't matter. It all starts with the relationship. This secret is so powerful because it's so simple. The relationship allows you to create a worldview where your kids know that you are there, you care, and you delight in them. This is a far cry from the frustration and annoyance, anger, resentment, exhaustion, whatever that is often present in those child-parent relationships. Play therapy provides a new language and a new perspective that changes every interaction. When you keep in mind that the relationship between you and your child creates safety and trust. And safety and trust is what allows the child to change and gives them the ability to heal. If you are frustrated with the way things are, I suspect the relationship is broken. And I want to share one more thing with you. There was a study conducted with play therapists and children participating in play therapy sessions. The researchers were trying to determine what it is specifically about play therapy that works so well and what makes it so effective. So they were trying to determine if it was the skills that were used, if it was possibly the child's buy-in and the child's desire to change. Maybe it was the process of play therapy itself. Could it have been the toys that were used? So on. You can see there were a lot of factors. So they finally decided to test if it had nothing to do with any of the suspected reasons why it worked. So here's what happened. They took two participants. So one was a therapist, one was a child. They spoke different languages and they conducted play sessions together. So for example, it might have been an English-speaking play therapist with a Spanish-speaking child. So they conduct play therapy sessions in a playroom together. Here's the amazing thing. Over the course of time, it became apparent that the play sessions were working and play therapy was effective, even though the therapist and child did not speak each other's language. I want to be clear, these were not bilingual individuals. So if the play therapist responded to the child, it was in English. And when the child responded to the therapist, it was in Spanish. And neither of them understood the other. Interestingly, and what makes this secret so powerful, is the relationship that was formed between the therapist and the child is what created the positive growth and the healing in the relationship. The relationship the therapist formed with the child created an environment of safety, trust, mutual respect, understanding, and probably most importantly, acceptance. And therefore, the child was able to work on their issues and heal. So as you can see, it's all about the relationship. It changes everything. So now that you understand the value of the relationship and how it will influence your kids and your whole family, I'm going to issue a challenge for the next few days when you interact with your child. Be aware of your relationship. Think about every verbal and nonverbal message that you communicate to your child. Think about loving your kids, accepting your kids, even when they are testing your patience. I would suggest 2 easy steps to help. First, get on their eye level when you talk to them. Especially powerful if it's an emotional situation. So you might have to kneel, you might have to squat, but get on their eye level, especially in an emotional situation, and then focus on being completely present in the moment and put yourself in your child's world. Look for your child to express their emotions more when you do this. Look for how you can stay calmer when you are on their level. Look for a bond that's formed when you meet them there. Try these 2 steps this week and see what happens. See how you feel, how the child reacts, and what the outcome is. This will allow you to start building some momentum and see the impact that the relationship makes. Big changes usually begin with a small step. So if you understand this idea of relationship, and if you see the value in improving that relationship, there is more great stuff coming in my upcoming in-home play therapy program. I'll be giving away all my best stuff, such as reflecting feelings, choice giving, limit setting, encouragement. There's so much there. The course is going to launch in a few days, so make sure you keep your eyes open for it. This is going to be exactly what you need to get you to a place of happy kids and a happy family. And it contains everything you need to know about how to implement play therapy skills in your home. In the next video, I will show you the complete plan from beginning to end that you need to follow to bring play therapy into your home and allow it to change your parenting approach. I'm literally drawing the curtains and showing you every single step you need to take. You don't want to miss that video because I'll share the complete game plan with you. Thanks so much for watching this video and stay tuned for the next one. I'll see you there.